What's up, y'all? Chris with NoLimitSquad, your personal Isochain and fitness vlogging channel. Today we're gonna cover the true deadlift, how to accurately perform the real deadlift on the Isochain. And I have a whole series on how to perform Isochain exercise. If you didn't know that, here's a link right here. Check out the whole playlist. Make sure that you're doing it right. Just because it's a static exercise, it doesn't mean that there's no form involved. There's very much form involved. One slip of the angle and you're doing a whole different exercise entirely with a lot of them. So make sure to check that out if you haven't already. One of those exercises on that playlist is the deadlift. And there's a couple variations: the single leg, the Zercher deadlift, the regular deadlift, the RDL. We're going to talk about the regular deadlift today. And with the deadlift, depending on your height, we might not be getting the optimal range for deadlift. So I know that some of us on the channel have been pulling incredibly high numbers, which is amazing because those high numbers that you pulled are still higher than when you first started. We know that the Isochain has been working. We've kept on the same chain link, and over time, as we kept on working on that chain link, the number has gotten higher, aka we've gotten stronger, we've gotten better at developing power, which is great. That's one of the great uses of the Isochain, is developing power, one of the many uses. But the only problem with that for deadlift is the launch phase. So if we're practicing deadlift from mid position or even bottom position on a chain, with the setup that we have to use to make sure that all the components are not breaking mid-use, some practitioners on the Isochain may still not be getting as low as possible. And I'm sure that a lot of us have seen that, so it's time to fix it. So, notice anything different? These big ass cinder blocks on the Isochain. So it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a cinder block, but we need some type of elevation pad on top of the chain. Now, if you don't want your base plate all roughed up, you can put something on top of the base plate. That's fine. So that way it's not rubbing off the black finish. For those that have done the traditional deadlift in the weight room, we know as soon as we stack a 45, the elevation of the bar height from the floor to the 45-pound barbell by itself is higher, right? That's why, like, using the Smith machines at like your local Planet Fitness or wherever for deadlifting isn't too accurate, because your starting position is higher than if you were to pick that up off the floor. So for example, I believe I used it in a couple old videos already. When I used to deadlift at Planet Fitness, I was deadlifting in the 500s, but I wasn't deadlifting in the 500s off the floor with barbell stuff. I dropped almost 100 pounds, which makes sense because the range of motion is shorter at a higher elevation to lockout versus picking it up off the floor to lockout. Since we can't really lower the initial components here of the Isochain, what we have to do is bring ourselves up higher, right? So it mimics us being lower. Here's what I mean. Okay, so right now, I'm not in position yet, but I'm on top. Now you see how much higher I am. What I like to do with our deadlifts is I like to be in a mixed grip position. That gives me the most control with holding the bar. That's if I don't use the hooks. If you haven't seen that video, check the link out right here. Check that out. Hooks are fantastic aids to use with our Isochain training. For the demonstration purposes of this exercise, I'm not gonna use the hooks. If I were really to rip into this, look, one hand over, one hand under, mixed grip, chin is up. This is exactly how I feel when I'm about to pick up the barbell I mean, literally, it feels just like this. I'm on chain link 1. You should always have it on chain link 1 for liftoff phase with the deadlift on the Isochain, all right? So from here, I'm gonna turn on the unit. Now my back is still kind of bothering me because I was being a little extra with a TikTok video. It was really stupid. What I do, I'm just gonna ease light into it. I'm not trying to mess it up. Oh my god, 136, not bad for being a bitch about it. My guess is if I hadn't done that, I'd probably be in like the low 3s to mid 3s at most. I know that it's not anywhere like it used to be when I was deadlifting more weight, and that's okay. You know, I'm ready to take that out. But the point is this: we can finally get that launch phase raw lift on the Isochain that we just weren't able to get before. I want to show you guys what it looks like from the side. All right guys, so here we are from the side. Same thing, mixed grip position. Notice my feet placement, my knee placement, and my hips, right? So it's boom, 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 okay? Keeping a flat back just as you would in the weight room. Never have cat back, right? That's how you blow your back out, okay? You wanna keep neutral spine. You wanna keep your core tight. You just wanna drive through the bar, heels, keeping the core tight. Oh, gave it a little more gas there, 172, so a little higher than that 130. Yeah, there's a lot of cortical inhibition in this lift, man. I just do not want no problems. That feels like I'm doing a deadlift in the gym. It totally feels like that. When I'm doing the deadlift on an Isochain, I've always done it at chain link 1 because that's been the closest I could mimic launch phase off the ground with barbell. This is the real deal. You want this setup. So what I'd recommend here is this looks to be 3 to 4 inches off the base plate. I feel like depending on your height, it might vary a little bit. So what I do, depending on your situation, find the elevation block that's right for you specifically, especially if you're taller. Find that, write down whatever that is, and then go ahead and purchase that said elevation piece. You will notice your launch phase on your deadlift in a weight room skyrocket. I have yet to use this. Like I said, I've given up deadlifts and barbell squats. I'm done. Listen, all the showboat stuff for me is good. As long as I look good, you know what I'm saying? And have a couple little lifts in the gym, that's cool. But those big ass movements, I'm done. That's me though. You might still want to do that, and I'm all for it, man. Live it up. Go ahead and do your thing. This will be a fantastic aid for you. Highly recommend utilizing the Isochain True Deadlift. This is the true Isochain deadlift here. This is about as real as you're gonna get for an off the ground launch phase deadlift. Make sure that we keep a neutral spine, keep your core tight. Do not cat back this exercise or you will pull your back just like you would in the weight room. Do not do that, please. Make sure to utilize proper technique and form with the Isochain. All right, guys, hopefully this made sense. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, go ahead and comment. And if you're not yet part of the squad, hit the subscribe button, come join the squad with us. We'll see you next one. Peace.